Greetings. I hope you're well. Welcome back to the Spirit Walker channel. I know that I haven't posted a video for some time, I think around 1 month. But I just wanted to say that everything's fine. It's just I've been on holidays, I've been overseas, I've been outside Australia, and the internet connection that I have here on holidays is not ideal. So that's the reason. I was just taking a bit of a break, and now I'm back. So it's good to have you all back here. And this week, I'd like to touch on something that is very interesting. I came across this issue completely by chance. I didn't understand what was really happening at first, but it was something I would almost call this a bit of a synchronicity or divine inspiration, or but I don't know what it was, but it's very interesting, and I ask you to stay for the duration of the video because I'm pretty sure that you're going to have some very, very strong opinions about this and some very strong views about this. And if you have looked into things such as the possible or the speculated reincarnation machine that some people say that we have, that our souls could in some sense be trapped in this cycle of reincarnation here on this planet. If you have given any thought to this idea at all, you will have your mind blown by this finding that I'm going to present to you on this video. So just bear with me. I really hope that you watch the full video, because everything is going to be clear as towards the end of the video, because I need some preparation. I need to prepare you to what we are going to discuss here. So I don't know if you're aware of this, but the Buddhists and the Hindus, they have a concept called samsara. This is the wheel of life, and it is symbolic of a number of things. It's symbolic of the cycle of incarnation and reincarnation. So you're born, you grow up, you become an adult, and then at some point your body starts to deteriorate and you get sicker and sicker, and then you die. You spend some time in the spiritual side of things, in the spiritual realms, what the law of one calls time-space, as opposed to space-time, which would be the physical vibration of the physical realms. And then the whole thing starts again. You agree to another incarnation and blah blah blah, and the whole cycle comes over and over again. So this is what samsara represents, is this continuous cycle. And what happens is that as you become an incarnated being, so your soul incarnates on earth, you make some mistakes, because we are all learning. We're all here learning. No one is perfect. So you make some mistakes. By making mistakes, you incur karma, and karma acts almost like a glue that gets you stuck to the cycle of samsara. So karma is an energy that will represent the need for you to return, reincarnate, and go back to the cycle of life. And then in the next life, in your next reincarnation, you probably are going to have other mistakes. Let's say, for example, the first mistake that you made was you were very materialistic, you had a lot of wealth, and you didn't give to anyone. So you concentrated your wealth, you're very avaricious, and these actions will generate some karma. These actions means that you have not learned the need to help other beings, because we are all interconnected. So the karma that you generated will represent a need for you to possibly come back in a situation where you no longer have the wealth that you had before, but you will be in a position where you will be in need of help. So, in other words, you will be poor. Of course, I'm oversimplifying things here, but it's just to give you an idea. So you will be poor in your next life, and what happens could be that in your need or in your search to survive, you end up, I don't know, committing a robbery. Now, this means that while quote unquote paying off or expunging your karma relating to greed and attachment to wealth, you committed another mistake, which is the mistake of violence and a direct disrespect to other people's lives. So that actually means that you're going to have to go back again for another reason, another mistake. And this is the wheel of samsara. This is the wheel of birth and rebirth until you are free from karma and you become a person that is no longer attached to samsara, a person that is no longer in need to return. This is the traditional way of thinking from the Hindu point of view, from the Buddhist point of view. A lot of people would say that that the cycle of birth and rebirth is slightly more complicated than that. A lot of people claim that there is actually, in the absence of a better description or in the absence of a better terminology, there is a reincarnation machine, that somehow our souls are trapped on this planet, and this reincarnation machine, whatever it is, keeps us locked in to this cycle. So as soon as you lose your physical vessel, you would be immediately trapped in your spiritual form by the energy that emanates from this machine, and you would be sucked back into the need to reincarnate. That's what some people believe. I am not sure if I agree with that belief, but it's something something that has been presented with some at least tangential evidence, circumstantial evidence of that. A lot of people would say that the reptilians, which are, they're both physical, but they're also spiritual beings, they are also astral beings, they could be involved in the creation and the maintenance of these reincarnatory machine or reincarnation machine, if there is such a thing. So the reptilians could be behind this prison for our soul, and if not directly responsible, but they could be, maybe perhaps they could be the ones operating these devices. And a lot of people as well talk about the moon as being part of this mechanism. Something in the moon, in our moon, is assisting or is helping or is contributing to our entrapment in soul form, to this cycle of birth and rebirth in our planet. Now, as I said, I don't know if I subscribe to this view. I am far more inclined to believe that yes, we are here to learn, and yes, we are here to learn especially how to treat each other. And in order to treat each other well, because we're all connected to some extent, we need to be free from things like greed, violence, all sorts of selfish behaviors and patterns of thinking. So this is what I believe. But there is another interpretation of the Wheel of Samsara that is sometimes used as well. So the Wheel of Samsara is sometimes thought of as the greater circle of life. So, for example, the cycle that consciousness takes from the status of being inert matter. So in other words, rocks and water and light, etc. And then from that point on to plants, from that point onwards to irrational animals, and then from that point on to humans, to rational humans, or any other rational being, and from that on to holiness or sainthood, or to become a Gautama, to become an ascended master, to become an ascended being, etc. So that's another interpretation of the Wheel of Samsara. So we have all of these things. As I said, I am a believer that the cycle of samsara is determined by ourselves, not by other beings. There could be beings that are trying to trap us into the cycle of reincarnation, not by a machine, not by a machine itself, but by offering temptations to us, by, for example, using extra physical chips that they implant on your soul, on your etheric double, or on your astral body, or perhaps even on higher bodies, the lower mental, the higher mental. And these machines, they act almost like giving you almost something like electrical shocks that tempt you to become nervous, to have erratic behavior, to be angry, etc. And by doing this, you would commit some mistakes, you would have errors, and you would treat others with impatience or violence or greed, blah, 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 etc. And this would determine the entrapment of your soul into samsara. I think that this is what's happening. I am not a subscriber to the theory that we have a reptilian overlordship, a reptilian community that is governing our reincarnation cycles and through some type of machinery. And this machinery could be associated with the moon, because the moon is the emitter of signals that keep our souls entrapped, etc., etc., etc. I'm not a believer on that. However, and this is the clincher, this is where things get really, really, really interesting. And if you have given any thought to these issues before at all, you will find this absolutely amazing. When you look at representations of the Wheel of Samsara, representations that were drawn millennia ago by Buddhist monks, by Hindu monks, you sometimes find something that is extremely creepy, extremely interesting. You will find the Wheel of Samsara, as you're seeing right now in your screen. But what you will find is that this Wheel of Samsara is surrounded, or is in the presence, or in the power of an entity, in the presence, or in the power of like a monstrous entity. And this entity could very well, in some representations, this entity looks pretty much like a reptilian. You will note that this type of representation of the Wheel of Samsara is, or have been produced for the past 3 millennia, and even longer than that in the case of the Hindus, and for a very long time they represent this Wheel of Samsara as being something that is under the power of this reptilian-like being that is sometimes even represented as biting the Wheel of Samsara. In some representations, this lizard-like, or this monster-like, this demonic-like being is represented as biting. So it's having total control over the cycle of incarnation and reincarnation of human souls on this planet. So this blew me away, because I wasn't a subscriber to that theory that the reptilians are behind our imprisonment in this cycle of incarnation and reincarnation on this planet. I wasn't a subscriber to that theory, and all of a sudden these images, hit me in the face, and I don't know what to make of it. And the next thing, which is even creepier, is that in some of these representations, the drawings also show the moon. Some of these, 1,000-year-old or 2,000-year-old or 3,000-year-old pictures of the Wheel of Samsara, they show the freaking moon there. And in some cases, the Buddha is pointing to the moon and saying the moon is liberation. The moon represents liberation. As if the Buddha was saying, look, if you guys need, or if you guys want to escape the cycle of samsara, if you guys want to escape the birth and rebirth prison that you find yourselves in, the moon is the key to the whole thing. Now, this blew me away. I don't know what to make of this. So I was, as I said, I was a subscriber to that other theory. I don't know what to make of this discovery. I would like to get your views, so if you have any views on this, please leave a comment, share and subscribe. This is a very interesting issue. This goes directly to our purpose on this planet, and Please leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know if this finding is wrong. Let me know if I am misinterpreting something. If you have more knowledge of Buddhism than I do, because I don't have much, but if you have more knowledge of Buddhism than me, please let me know if if I misinterpreted this issue, because this has really freaked me out. This has really freaked me out. I wasn't expecting this type of confirmation or this type of substantiation of a theory that I didn't subscribe to in the first place. So it's almost like another bit of circumstantial evidence that does seem to support the view that some people are presenting or describing or proposing today, that there is a technological device on the moon that controls our entrapment from the soul level on this planet, and this technological device is somehow linked with, or perhaps even managed by, some demonic or reptilian type entities. This has freaked me out. I would like to get your views. So thank you for watching. Please share, like, and subscribe. And I wish you all a fantastic 2018 and many blessings to you. Bye.